Alexa Grasso with one of the coldest finishes you will ever see. Viva Mexico, cabrones. Joe Pyfer uses the grappling, takes Izzy down. The rest is history. Not gonna lie, this was a banging ass card. I was talking a lot of smack. Let's get into it. All right, so we get into the fight. First round, I'm not gonna lie. Joe was getting pieced up. If you look at the strikes, Israel outlanded Joe. Tearing up that calf. Joe did not like that. Izzy's head movement and just his deep boxing defense looked really crisp in that first round. A little bit in the second round before he started brawling. And I was like, damn, Joe Pyfer really can't hit Izzy. And on Joe Pyfer's first takedown attempt, he had a full body lock with all his weight and he still couldn't take Izzy down. But second round, Izzy getting a little cocky, man. He said he wanted to come out there and perform. I ain't gonna lie. He really went out. This was an entertaining ass fight. This is one of the most entertaining Israel Adesanya fights you'll ever see. Excuse me, because I've lost my voice. I've been kind of sick, you know what I'm saying? This is called the flu game reaction. First round, Izzy kind of pieces him up, dodges all of Joe's big punches, defends all the takedowns except the last one at the very end of the round. Second round starts, he's lighting Joe Pyfer up, switches stances, body kicks, hard leg kicks, opening up with the straights down the pipe, and Joe was swinging and missing. I was thinking to myself, damn, he looking like Derek Lewis against Waldo Cortez Acosta. He just swinging and hitting air. But he finally catches him, and then he just kept trying. He just kept trying to use the grappling. I said in my prediction, I was like, Joe Pyfer's got to use that grappling. I said it was gonna be a third round knockout. He got the second round finish. So he takes Izzy down, and then slices through Izzy like butter in half guard, bro. Just pulled his leg out, went straight into mount. After he went into mount, I was like, oh shit, this is over. Started threatening the rear naked. Then he would turn back into mount. And that's when the ground and pound started happening. And then he flattened Izzy out, and he did the classic. And you know Herb. I saw a clip of Jorge Masvidal talking about this. I never peeped this. Herb will let you die in there, bro. He let Joe Pyfer get off about 18 with Izzy flattened out. I said, God damn. Jorge wasn't lying about Herb Dean. And I think in the what the last fight card, Mason Jones. Was it Mason Jones in that war he had with the French dude? Like at the end of the fight, he let off like I counted. It was like 20 unanswered punches, and Herb just sit there and watch that shit. So, yeah, Herb Dean being Herb Dean. Herb Dean's been doing this a long time, bro. But I get it, though. Izzy, you know, one of the biggest stars in the sport. You want to give him a chance, but Izzy was not moving, bro. Joe overpowered him, got the finish. Joe was talking about in the post-fight that he thought about killing him. God damn, bro. Joe's been through a lot, man. I don't do any more Joe Pyfer jokes. I said this in my earlier videos. I don't do no more Joe Pyfer jokes because once you hear him go on Joe Rogan and you talk about his upbringing, that shit not funny to joke about. This is my opinion. And I guess he's still going through stuff because he's saying he almost killed himself. I thought this would be Izzy's retirement fight if he gets knocked out. Izzy's saying he ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be back. Or I forget what he said, but he said he's still undefeated in his mind or something. I don't know. But, brother, how you in UFC for this long, brother, and you don't know how to escape flattened out position, brother? Sitting 2-3 years Dagestanning for the get. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking with the 2-3 years Dagestan. But he looked great in this fight. His head movement was clean. He didn't look very chinny. I mean, he ate a couple of Joe Pyfer's right hands, and that's Smoking Joe's, best punch. But like I said, his head movement was on point. I mean, he just had Joe swinging at air. But the grappling, brother, maybe I wasn't joking. 2-3 years Dagestanning for the get. But Joe got that number 3 rankings. He beat number 4. He top 5. Let's see what happens with Joe Pyfer next. Wow. Y'all know me. If y'all watch these reactions, fight night reactions, pay-per-view reactions, numbered card reactions, y'all know I don't watch women's fights. I just happened to be watching because I was sitting down. I was like, I might as well watch it because I was drinking this green tea to try to help with my throat. No homo. And when I seen Alexa Grasso, I was watching, though. I was locked in. I ain't gonna lie. Macy Barber kind of thick, man. She one of them 5'5" thick in the thigh. But anyway, I saw Alexa Grasso out there, showing that boxador mexicano alma, that Mexican boxer soul. I fucked that all up. But, she switched to southpaw. And she hit her with the classic boom, boom, 1-2. And spun her around, bro. Spun Macy Barber around. Before we get into that, though, before the finish, I was thinking, like, damn, Macy Barber. Last time I saw Macy Barber fight, she was just ragdolling this girl. I was like, she's going to ragdoll Alexa Grasso little ass. But no. Boom, boom, hits her with the 1-2, spins her around, And the way she jumped on this fucking rear naked was deadly. Every time I watch a girls fight, I'm like, I really think I could beat these girls in a grappling match. But to see that kind of technique, and she said in the post fight that she's been working on her jiu-jitsu, dog, that looked like a fucking men's flyweight rear naked choke with the quickness. That looked like a Brandon Royval. It looked like Brandon Moreno damn near, bro. Like the way she jumped on Macy Barber like a spider. And look, Macy Barber got knocked out. She was knocked out cold with the 1-2, but she spun around and she was kind of sitting up. When Alexa jumped on her and started choking her, she was already out. I literally thought Alexa Grasso caught a body in there, bro. One of the nastiest finishes you will ever see in the UFC. Tengo que mostrar respeto para las mujeres. I gotta show more respect to the women, you know what I'm saying? Cause that right there. And then if you watch her rear naked with Valentina when she won that fight with the big upset, she jumped on Val. I'm about to call that. I almost called her the B word. She jumped on Valentina and choked her ass out too. So, man, Alexa Grasso got some nasty rear naked chokes, bro. Them shits is nasty. Maybe one day if the channel blows up, we can go grapple Alexa Grasso and I can test my skills, man. Because I'm just looking at these little dainty little females, but man, that rear naked was disgusting. Holy, and then the way Macy Barber was just late, it took her. They went to commercial break. I think she was still out. I'm being honest. That was nasty. And Alexa Grasso started praying. Like it was one of the most brutal finishes you'll ever see. But the ref did a good job. I don't even think as soon as Alexa jumped on the choke, he was right on it. But yeah, man. Gosh, saludo a México, saludo a Alexa Grasso. Déjame hablar un poco de español porque tú sabes, ya tú sabes, estoy trabajando en mi español. Saludo a las mujeres. No voy a hablar mucho mierda sobre las mujeres, no más. Es una mentira, pero ya tú sabes. Okay, let's go. Okay, every time I watch Nico Price fight, he loses, and I'm just thinking about all them 18,000 kids he got. But this is Michael Chies's retirement fight. You know, I didn't know he's from Washington, so this makes sense why they put him this far up in the card. Took Nico down. Actually, Nico took him down. He went to a sprawl. Nico took him down. He went to a single leg, reversed the position, and then took Nico down and then choked him out like immediately. Like it only took a minute for Michael Chiesa to choke out Nico, and that's what he's known for, that rear naked too. So that's 2 rear naked chokes, but that's 3 finishes. I think all finishes on the main card. So yeah, this was a banging ass card. I didn't get to see this one, but I did see this dude kind of beat the brakes off Julian Erosa. I didn't know he had 18 fights in the UFC. Yeah, you're way past your prime, brother. 18 fights is a lot of fights in the UFC. And this dude seemed like a newcomer, and all I saw was like, I looked over and he was knocking Julian out. So, Now I was looking at this dude. I was like, first of all, his name is Babyface Assassin, and he bald headed and got a beard. That's not Babyface, but I was like, why does this dude look so familiar? And I always see him in clips training with Alex Pereira. And after the fight, after he won, Alex Pereira was in that motherfucking ring. Heavyweight Alex Pereira. Or a farmer, as the kids would say. But he put a masterclass on this dude, bro. He's 6'6". Like, why ain't your big ass playing basketball or something? The range advantage was too much. He could not come close. He was doing this thing where he was sprinting at him, but I don't know if he's got like a Muay Thai or kickboxing background, but he hit him with everything in the book. And it was just knees, it was body kicks, chopped him down. The first round was kind of boring. I forgot about that. First round was kind of boring, but he chopped the fuck out of his calf and took away all his mobility. Second round, third round, just all piecing up. Look, 55-7, 30-2. Like, yeah, he just beat the brakes off of Mansour. And when Mansour was able to take him down, he did get back up very quick. And I think Mansour was undefeated. So Alex Pereira, his training partner might be a problem, bro, because that length and that range, he made him look like a dummy out there. It looked like me trying to go out there and fight one of these middleweights. So big future for him. But he had a nasty, in the third round, nasty knee up the middle. That might be kind of pillow-handed, because I'm telling you, he hit this dude with everything in the book, and Mansour was not falling. But I think he knocked him down with a right hook in the second round, and in the third round, he caught him with a knee straight up the middle, and it was just enough damage. I'm surprised the ref didn't stop the fight in the end of the second round, but the bell rang because he jumped on him and started ground and pounding. But, man, he put a beat down on Mansour. So, that dude might be a problem. Shout out my boy Terrence McKinney. 24-second finish. I talked about this in my prediction video. I said, I fuck with Terrence McKinney now. I've been seeing some of his little videos on YouTube and how funny he is. All his fights finish in the first round. So he's a killer be killed. Literally the definition of killer be killed. Him and BSD, that would be the fight of the century. But I pray to God he gets a bonus for this. There was a, let me see. Alexa Grasso gonna get that bonus. His finish was more impressive than the Joe Pyfer finish, though. But Michael Chiesa, they better not do my boy dirty, bro. I know this was a stacked card, but my God. Went out there, gets right in his face, jab, he's southpaw, sends the high kick, knocks Kyle Nelson down, and then Kyle Nelson didn't even try to scramble. Like, if you look at the replay, he blocked it with his arms. I don't know if Kyle was wilting, but after Terrence threw the high kick, he jumped on him, boom, boom, hammer fisted him for about 15 times, and then they stopped it. But Kyle didn't even get hit clean with the head kick. Why are you dropping? I know it's like the impact, but looks like he kind of wilted a little bit. But Terrence McKinney for another first round finish. He is that guy when it comes to finishes in the first round. And then I got to saw this. Yo, Chase Hooper got knocked out again. Not by this dude who was scared of Bobby Green. Ain't no fucking way. I'm about to go rewatch that. Let's talk about this though. This is just a classic case of when jiu-jitsu don't fucking work in MMA when someone's punching you in your fucking face. First round, damn, I can't even remember. I don't know how these people be remembering all these fucking fights. I do remember in the second round, EV. You know how Lucas Tracy always says these dudes with the EVs have really good grappling or whatever? And he's Bilal Muhammad's training partner. How do you not know how to get up? He just plays jiu-jitsu. Played jiu-jitsu the whole fight. But as soon as the second round, I remember the second round. Second round starts, Ignacio Bahamundes drops homeboy. Then a scramble happens or something, and homeboy ends up dropping an elbow, and all the blood y'all saw in the main event in the ring, that was all Ignacio Bahamundes' blood. I mean, that elbow, that was a nasty cut right like across his forehead, and it was just a big straight line. And this dude just kept taking Ignacio Bahamundes down and just beating him up. And in the third round, he got the takedown, and the crowd started booing. I'm like, did y'all not just see what he did to him in the second round? So these Seattle fans, kind of casual fans, because this dude's ground and pound was very impressive. It was not no smudge. He was putting the ground and pound and the beats on Ignacio Bahamundes. So yeah, this dude, he's the real deal. Because Bahamundes, I think, was ranked at one point. But yeah, he just kept throwing up subs. He kept throwing up arm bars, triangles. He was getting out of it, did not run from it, stayed in Ignacio's guard and just beat the brakes off of him. So yeah, shout out to this dude. Okay, so I just watched the fight real quick because it was first round. I could knock that out real quick. That might have been an early stoppage. Chase Hooper, man, he might be kind of chinny. I've never seen someone get knocked all the way across the octagon with the elbow like that off the break. But they were in a clinch. And Gibson elbowed him off the break and rocked him. And then Chase Hooper went flying across the octagon. And then Gibson went for the finish and, ends up finishing with a knee. And, the ref didn't give the dude a chance to jump on Chase Hooper. It was just automatic. As soon as Chase Hooper fell to the ground, they stopped it. So it might have been an early stoppage, but damn, Chase, you kind of chinny, bro. But Chase didn't look lost on the feet. I thought in the Alex Hernandez fight, he looked kind of lost on the feet. Thought Chase looked good. I mean, he landed a nice high kick on Gibson. He always throws those nice teeps, uses his range. So maybe he just got to get a little tougher. I don't know. Definitely let me know y'all thoughts on the card. I thought this was a fire-ass main card. I called it shit when I first was just looking at it, but it ended up being a fucking fire-ass card. All finishes on the main card. And then the two fights I watched on the prelims, the Hooper and... I don't know the other dude's name, but the Bahamundes fight was fire. So, yeah, shout out Seattle, man. Let me know if y'all think Izzy should retire in the comments. And let me know who y'all wanted to see Joe Pyfer fight next. If you made it this far, go ahead and like, subscribe. It really helped me out a lot. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. We out.
I'm him, I can tell you from the jump, I'm a different breed. Bought a new tech, free shot, no referee. I ain't gon' force, nah shit, I'ma let it be. White gold shining, diamonds red like the 7 Seas.